Well, it says I'm live. I hope I am. And I'm thanking you for joining me. I'm going to show you a little bit about this cute little card. It's called a hidden panel card. And I'm trying to watch for comments and see who's joining me, but it's kind of hard when it's just one person. So anyway, I will have these measurements for you later, so don't worry about getting them all written down right now. But I will have them for you in the comments. But here's a list of what you're going to need to make this cute little hidden panel card. Okay. First of all, you're going to need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. You can see this one is sitting on a base. All this work here is sitting on just this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base, so it will fit inside a regular medium A2 envelope. So then you can set that part aside for right now. The next thing you're going to need is the main part of the card. And this is 4 1/4 by 11. So you could get 2 of these out of one sheet of paper. And at 4 1/4 by 11, then you're going to score at 2. Let's see if I can get this light to where you can see the scores. You're going to score at 2, and then again at 3 3/4, at 7 1/4, and at 9. And you're just going to fold these in, similar to a gate fold. You're going to fold those 2 in, and then fold these 2 back. And if you've got a bone folder, which I don't see one right here, but we'll go ahead and give this a good crease. And now you want to, hang on a second. We had class this morning, and some of my supplies are in there. Let's see. I will just go ahead and use some glue then, instead of tape. Normally I would do this with tape, but we're just going to go ahead and use glue. So I'm just going to put glue along the back here. Just this one panel, not anything else, just this one panel. Fold this back down. And do my best not to get my head in here, but I want to try and center this on here. Yes. And maybe it's best that I did use the glue. Oh my goodness. Because when you use glue and not tape, you do have just a few seconds more. There we go. A few seconds more to move that around if you need to. So you can see now this is folded down where you don't see that back panel. Okay, the next thing that you need is for the front here. And this is a 4 by 4 cherry cobbler. Oh, and I've got to show you this paper. The paper, the DSP we're using is so pretty. It's from the new, the Christmas catalog, the holiday catalog, and it's called Regal Winter. And this is the piece I'm using. I'm using the front and the back. This is why I'm using the Night of Navy. It's because that coordinates so well with the back. But all of these are so pretty, and they match our Regal colors. This pretty peacock, and another one that's the dark blues. So really dark, pretty, deep color jewel tones. Okay, so the cherry cobbler, you need the 4 by 4, and you need a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of the Regal Winters, and we're just going to put that down on top. It's a shame to cover up the blue part. It's so pretty, but we will be using some of the blue part. So don't fret. Okay, then we're using another piece of 4 by 3 3/4 of the cherry cobbler, but we're going to put it in the inside just to mat our sentiment piece. So it's going right in the middle. Pardon me if I get my head in there. Trying to center it. Okay. And then you have a piece that's a little bit smaller of white, 3 3/4 by 3. And that will be for your sentiment. I am not going to set mine down at the moment because I generally stamp before I put it in case I mess up. I'm sure none of you have ever messed up, but I do. So I don't want to put that in just yet. And we're going to take 2 pieces of our DSP on the blue side, and these are both 4 by 3/4. Oh, I'm sorry. These are 2. You know what? I'm sorry. That's wrong too. This is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the front. So since we're only attaching it on one side, I don't want to put too much of this in. I want this to cover all the way over to this side. I want to bring this down a little bit. Okay. Now our other piece of cherry cobbler for the right side was 4 by 1 3/4. And then the DSP for it, I'm sorry, it's 3 3/4 by 1 1/2, I believe. Yep, 1 1/2. Again, like I said, don't try and worry about these. I will have these in the notes afterwards and also in the comments, notes for YouTube when I put this over there. Now this is going to go on this panel, this outside panel. But we don't want it to show. Remember, it was a hidden panel? Just gonna put a little glue on here. This is the hidden panel we had. So we have to hide this panel. So we want to shut it. And this is another reason it's good to use glue, is I may need to move this. So I'm not really smooshing it down yet. That's the technical term. I'm smooshing it down until I get it lined up and make sure it's not going to show. Okay. So now it doesn't show. It is a hidden panel. Now remember our little 3/4 inch pieces of DSP. These are 4 by 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there, and they're going to go back here. Okay. So then on the inside, we're going to use the blue, the pretty blue. Shut that. Okay. On our insides then, instead of using the pretty flowers, and you could use the flower, certainly. But I want to show off this pretty blue side. Okay, this is the hard part. The hard part is done. You would write your message and then add that. And then you can decorate the front in any manner that you like. But there's your little hidden panel card. So thank you for joining me. And again, here's the pieces that you need. You need the 4 1/4 by 11 that you scored. You need the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, the base that we set this on. A couple of cherry cobblers, the DSP, the inside pieces, and the white. And I will put these in the notes for you. And thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you next Tuesday. I'm sorry, next Monday at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Bye-bye.